hope you guys weren't expecting the news to end tonight anytime soon, were you? Because my friends, we are getting ready to announce Romeo Lavia tomorrow, because tonight, Romeo Lavia has agreed personal terms for a long-term contract. But to move on though, we have even more news. Right now, Newcastle are trying to make a bid to sign Lewis Hall on a permanent deal. And let's talk Moises Caicedo and his first interview at the club. We also learned some more context and insight behind the deal to sign him to begin with. So, my friends, I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, apologies, but I can't talk too loud for the recording. I'm recording really late. And unfortunately, I have one of those voices where my voice reverberates through walls. And my missus hasn't been too pleased throughout this whole month due to these late night recordings. So, this news video might be more like an ASMR news video. Maybe turn your volume up if it's a bit too low. And I hope you guys enjoy anyways. So without wasting any more time. So my friends, let's discuss these breaking reports surrounding Romeo Lavia. Now, I tweeted this earlier, but I kind of feel like owning LFC has new meaning right now, because now we have Lavia. Now we have Fernandes. And now we have Casado together. Liverpool fans had dreams of their own that they'd watch these three players playing for them, so it sums up how much of a ridiculous accomplishment it has been to secure the future of our midfield. As we know, we've agreed a 52 plus 3 million add-on deal to sign Lavia. That has been accepted now by Southampton, and currently we are finalising documents and details, because the plan currently is to have Lavia ready for our matchday squad against West Ham this Sunday. Lavia is set to sign a 7+1 year contract, and his medical has been booked for tomorrow. So the plan is to have him complete his medical and then get announced on the same day tomorrow. And to have Caicedo today and Lavia tomorrow, wow, I feel like our owners and club, they know how to create those storyline moments, right? And to sign these two incredible midfield players in quick succession, I mean, it's well done to everyone that's been involved in this deal, my friends. But anyway, one of the reasons why we want him to complete his medical very soon, of course, is because we are prepared for anything. Now, I don't think we have to worry too much now, because as we learned today, Lavia has rejected Liverpool. The difference between how our board operates and Liverpool's is that we prepare for any worst case scenarios. We are always 1 and 2 steps ahead. And I guess things have been helped by the fact that we've learned that Romeo Lavia has been in London throughout the entirety of this week. Now, we learned that we took advantage of Liverpool, because as they focused their attentions to fire us to try and sign Casado, they ignored Lavia. And in turn, by doing that, that kind of put Lavia off from signing for Liverpool, because it looked like they were going against their words. At the end of the day, our strategy, our efforts were just better than Liverpool's. And to top things off even more, my friends, we have offered Lavia better personal terms and a better contract compared to Liverpool's. So on all fronts, when it came to signing Casado and now Lavia, we've paid more money, offered better contracts, offered better projects as well too, and captured the minds and attentions of the players a lot more than Liverpool have. And this is what led to us signing Casado and now Romeo Lavia. We learned that Lavia has spoken to new teammates, and we learned that he's even spoken to new midfield signing and Ugo Chukwu. So it's nice to see that there are growing relationships behind the scenes. We learned that Lavia has been celebrating rightfully this week as he prepares to sign for us, and right now he's hunting for an apartment in London. So that explains why he's been in London for the past week. So right now, my friends, we wait for Lavia to complete his medical tomorrow, and then we wait for the announcement. I'd assume at the same time tomorrow evening, and boy is it going to be a big one. And then after that, my friends, we move for Olise. Now, we learned that Olise has deleted any memory of Crystal Palace from his social media. Does that say something about his character? In my opinion, it doesn't really matter. And I kind of think that Olise does this because it's metaphorical for him of okay, I only think about the future, about what's next in my career. And to be fair with you, it's works now, because he's now set to complete a move to us as he's agreed personal terms, and all we have to do right now is finalize an agreement with Crystal Palace. So my friends, that is the latest surrounding Romeo Lavia. We get ready to announce another new player, and right now we move on to discussing Moises Caicedo's first interview, and a bit more context behind the deal. I have to say that I really liked how the club announced Moises Caicedo. Like, it definitely pulled on those sentimental heartstrings, and we learned some interesting things from Casado in this first interview. We learned that growing up, Casado really studied Makelele on YouTube comps, and like when I see the positions that Casado takes up, when I see how he scans to get ready to like cancel out threats, to preempt the opposition's next move. Makelele used to be very good at doing that, and when he won the ball, he would play amazing line-breaking passes to kickstart attacks, and that's one thing that Casado does. But for a more like recent hero of his, that was N'Golo Kante, and we learned that infamous photo of Casado in the Kante shirt, that was a gift he received when he was 18, and that was something that he specifically asked for. As Casado said, Makelele and Kante were an inspiration to me. They were so humble on the pitch. I think I can say we share similar qualities, but they were better. But now I'm going to give everything for this club because they did so much for me. When I was a kid, I supported Chelsea and I used to watch the games. Now it's amazing to be here. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world. I can't wait to start with the guys, to give my best and to write my own story. Now let's go back to last Sunday. We know the original plan. We hoped to announce Casado at half time, but we respected Liverpool's wishes. It wasn't to be, but Casado was at the stadium. He was at the club hotel, and as he said, I watched a game at the hotel and I supported the players from there. The team was so good, I enjoyed it a lot. The new Chelsea players did really well. I want to be on the pitch with them. I like the style of football, it's good for me. I am sure I am going to adapt very quickly, and I am sure we are going to win a lot of titles with this amazing club to put Chelsea where they deserve to be. We learned that Caicedo's had multiple conversations with Pochettino, and I'm sure they were very productive ones. Of course, Pochettino has needed midfield players with this profile desperately. Now he has one of the very best in his position right now in Europe, in my opinion. But to end things, Casado spoke about, life growing up and, just like the sentimentality behind making this deal. And as he said, I also know that there are a lot of kids in Ecuador behind me. I have to be an example for them. I want to represent my country in the best way I can. The people there support me. They wear my shirt. They are an inspiration as well to keep working hard. And to be honest with you, I feel like when this guy's in the field, especially when he makes those crunching tackles, those like decisive tackles, it does feel like there's a little bit more meaning behind these actions on the field. Like, every single game he plays is like it's the last game he's about to ever play in his life. And you can imagine that this type of intensity that he has when he plays is something that he develops and learned really quickly growing up, coming from very humble beginnings. And, I think to myself, this guy is 1 out of 10 kids. He has 9 other siblings. He's the youngest of all 10, of course. And right now, he has become the 3rd most expensive player in world football history. That is crazy. And if there's one thing I learned from the story, maybe I might need to have 10 kids of my own, because at least one of these guys is set to become a football player, yeah? But I'm not gonna lie, like these types of stories where guys who come from nothing make it, they're always gonna be like very inspirational stories. His former club in Ecuador, in Independiente del Valle, they're now set to earn around £22 million due to a sell-on clause when they sold Casado to Brighton. And basically Casado is already giving back because that investment, I mean, Independiente, producing guys like Casado and now Kendry Paez. Casado is going to create a legacy back home and give opportunities now to future Ecuadorian talents now to come through and aspire to reach those same heights set by Moises Caicedo. Casado comes across very humble. He understands the position he's in, the responsibility behind it. And I don't think this price tag around him will affect his personality or what he does in the fields at all. So my friends, we welcome Moises Caicedo to our football club. And now to end things, we discuss the latest reports surrounding Lewis Hall. Now this story comes from the Daily Mail, and they report that right now Newcastle are trying to hijack Lewis Hall for making a loan move to Crystal Palace as they try to make a permanent move to sign him before the window ends. Now this is very interesting, but I also think that this is a very ambitious move from Newcastle because the article also mentions that they're also looking at Marc Cucurella as a loan option alongside Kieran Tierney of Arsenal as well too. Now, as we know, Lewis Hall won our Young Academy Player of the Season award last season. Looked very promising in the games that he played in. But obviously with Cucurella here, Maatsen remaining and Ben Chilwell looking very good right now, the right move was for him to get game time in the Premier League. Now, with Newcastle, I can see what they're thinking. To have Livramento on the right-hand side, Lewis Hall on the left-hand side. I mean, you're sorting yourself out now for like over 10 years. With two of the best young fullbacks in the country. It's exciting stuff if you're a Newcastle fan. And I can envision that Newcastle are trying to maybe tempt us into a sale. Now, as we know, if we make any more new additions right now, we have to fund them by selling players first. And Newcastle might be trying to talk to Lewis Hall, saying there's Cucurella, it'll be very hard for them to sell him. There's Maatsen and there's Ben Chilwell in front of you. If you come to us, you will get the game time to develop, because if you work alongside Eddie Howe, one of the best managers in the country at the moment, he knows how to use young players and he will develop and he will get the football minutes that you need. Now, I can see how that could be very tempting for a Lewis Hall. I can see how that could potentially be tempting for us if Newcastle made as satisfying bids. But in my opinion, I hope that we just resist this because, you know, Lewis Hall hasn't signed that contract extension yet. He's set to sign a 6-year deal, and I think that we need to get him to sign this deal. As long as we own him, let's see how he performs on loan at Crystal Palace this season. I think opportunities are set to open up in the squads in the next year or two. And Lewis Hall is so young that I don't think that he has to maybe be nervous about not having a future at this football club. Now, if he performs on loan at Crystal Palace and then next season there's still no opportunities, then at least you're set to earn a lot more money next year compared to selling him right now. So let's watch this space, very audacious attempt by Newcastle, and we'll see what happens in the end, right? So my friends, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button, share your thoughts and opinions and all that good stuff. And on that note, I'm Nini FC, this is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.